Imagine finding out that you have an entire family you never knew existed. Well, for one man, it was a discovery that led to a life-changing journey, and it's just getting started. Take a look. Growing up, Ed Choi never knew who his dad was.
I kind of feel like my mom was there. She always had this thing she used to tell me when I was younger, and it used to be, as a boy, you need a father figure, so I'm your father figure first.
But one day, when Ed was 13, a secret was revealed to him, and it's something he's now sharing with the world.
I found out that my mom and dad were never married, and my mom did not lose the suitcase that had all the photos of her wedding and my dad in it, because I grew up to this point thinking that I never saw my dad because my mom lost all the photos, and I had no idea who my dad was.
1 week later, Ed flew to Korea with his mom to meet his dad for the first time.
We met with my dad at a hotel there. I remember he mostly didn't talk to me. He told me like his jacket is probably more expensive than like all the clothes that I own, my whole wardrobe. He did tell me about my family's company. I looked it up and saw that they were like a big conglomerate company. And then the next day we were supposed to meet again. And my mom finally tells me, she's like, your dad can't make it because he has a really important business golf meeting, which ended up being a lie. And that actually was very heavy for me for a really long time, because I was like, wow, I'm less important than a golf game.
Unfortunately, Ed's dad died before they ever met again, but the secrets didn't. To tell us more, please welcome to DBL, Ed Choi. Wow.
Thank you, Ed, for being here. So this is a huge secret that your mom hid. So why did she do this?
Well, first off, thank you for having me. And to answer your question, I think it mostly has to just do with the way she was brought up in the Korean culture. Even today, being a single mother isn't something that's really easy to do in Korea. So I think she was, one, very conscious of that, and then two, very conscious of what I didn't have, I think she went about it the wrong way, but knowing that I didn't have a father was something she was very aware of, and I think she had good intentions to try to overcompensate for it, just not the best way.
So do you think that she was keeping anything else from you?
Well, I found out, that I had siblings, later on as well, so I don't know, my mom's famous saying is, even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. So secrets is kind of her brand. So slowly been trying to unravel, things about her so I could understand more about myself.
That's hard.
Ed, you went to your dad's funeral, but you were not welcomed with open arms. So tell us what happened.
Yeah, so when I went, my mom stayed outside. She walked me up until the front door. So in Korea, the majority of funerals take place, and most of them are Buddhist funerals. There's no body. It's just a photo with some incense and a member of the family that you greet and talk to. But the thing was, no one knew who I was. And in fact, I was hysterically crying because I'm very sensitive. And on the way out, I just, saw a guest book that I decided to sign my name really big, because when I realized that they didn't know who I was, I think part of me kind of was like, well, I'm going to tell you who I am.
Well, before I get to my questions on the prompt, I'd be remiss to not ask you this. Why do you think your dad met with you the first time? Why do you think he agreed to do that if he didn't want to follow up?
Well, so my dad met with me because he knew he was dying. So the reason why he didn't follow up with me was actually because my mom had told me that he had missed it for a golf meeting, and then I actually found out about a year and a half ago that wasn't the case, and in fact it was his wife that forbade him from ever seeing me again, because I think she felt threatened, because technically I was the firstborn son. And in Korean culture, especially with such a powerful, wealthy family, I think that has a little bit more weight than for most of us.
Wow. Okay, so let's get to this. That's amazing. Thank you for that answer. You're in the process of finding your half-sister, so good luck in that. Do you think you might meet her one day?
I really hope so. I mean, that's the reason why I'm doing this whole journey, is just trying to find out more about myself and more about my family. I don't know. I think I'm kind of trying to live with the reality that, especially with who my family is, that they're probably under some sort of guidance to not have anything to do with me. So I don't know. I'm trying to be realistic, but this is something that I've been dreaming about since I was 13, 14 years old, so I'm not going to give up.
So, Ed, what's the most important thing you've learned from this process, and what would you recommend? Because now with 23andMe, people are finding so many siblings and relatives. Is knowing what you know now, is ignorance bliss in this situation, or would you still rather know?
I think I would rather know. The one thing I really learned throughout this journey is that I used to carry around this baggage thinking that it was because I wasn't good enough. And between the supportive messages from complete strangers and just doing a lot of self-digging and analyzing and guidance, I think I've come to realize that it's not about me and it's about them. And although I want to find them and I want to do the best that I can to look out to find them and learn about them for me, their choice is their own. It has nothing to do with me, but their own lived experience. So the one advice I would say is if you are in a somewhat similar boat or you want to find your family, go for it. Because the one thing that I know is I don't want to be on my deathbed wondering what I should have done. I'd rather do everything that I could have done knowing that I did everything I could and the rest was out of my control.
Wow. Ed, thank you so much. And just know a lot of our audience is writing in about chosen family and what you can do and have your own chosen family. And it looks like you're surrounded by good people. Just know you can continue to do that. You got our DBL family right here with us, right here with you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. DBL Nation, please follow Ed on TikTok at Etch-a-Sketch, spelled like you see on the screen, not like the toy. Thanks again, Ed. And I honestly wish you all the best in this journey. Amazing.